I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about this, but
I'm Jonah King. This is the Slightly Warm Seat podcast, and I am sitting here. It's Miteau, right? Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect. Okay. I want to say Miteau. I always get it confused.
Yeah, it's cool. People just be calling me like me too. Some people be like Matthew, Mateo. Like it's cool. Just me too.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to be talking about your clothing brand, which has been expanding. It's called Simply Steez.
Yeah.
Why Simply Steez? Where does the name come from?
All right. So actually, in high school, I used to say this word "steez" a lot because I heard this Wiz song. It was like "do it with sleaze," but I just took the S, or I mean the L, and put a T. So I said like "do it with steez." So in the process, I was just thinking about like different names when I was about to start this clothing company. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just say Steez just for now. And I was thinking about maybe I'll change it down the line, but after a while, it just kept catching on. So I just stayed with Steez just because of a Wiz song.
So how long have you been working on this brand?
It's been less than a year. It's gonna be officially a year in December.
And the idea you said started in high school, or it came?
Actually, in high school, I had a clothing brand. I had it with two of my friends. And like when I came to college, I left it behind because I had college and it was hard for me to manage it here and manage it in Orlando. So I left it to them to like manage it, but like over time it died down. So we kind of like just went our separate ways with it. So I decided I wanted to do my own thing, and that's when Steez came along.
So to me, I would describe kind of a lot of the designs for a lot of the clothing pretty minimalistic.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes, basically the simply part basically stands for very minimal designs. And also one thing I like doing is I don't like using the same design twice unless it's like the logo that's literally right there on my chest. That's like the only design that you would see constantly, or the tag on the neck. That's like the only thing you would see constantly. Other than that, like anything very big graphic, I never use it twice. I try to always improve myself, improve my design, improve my quality. If you look back from the very first shirts I created, they were completely different from what I have now.
So you had started with an original brand, and then you moved on to your own brand.
Yeah.
What have you learned? What's the most important thing you've learned in that time, moving through the process, going from one clothing brand to another? And what have you learned in the year that you've spent with this brand?
Basically, I learned that I just gotta stay true to myself, basically. So when I stay true to myself, people will see that it's natural instead of it being like fake. So I learned that being true to myself will make the brand go further. With my other brand, I wasn't really staying true to myself. I was just basically trying to give people what they wanted. So now with Simply Steez, I do things kind of at like my own pace, and I try to improve myself. So with my old brand, I only had one design, like one or two designs, and that went on for like months. But with Simply Steez, like everything I drop is completely new. Like it's different things. I drop baseball jerseys, baseball shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. With my old clothing brand, I wasn't doing that. I just dropped literally t-shirts and just tank tops because I'm like, man, just give people what they want, just t-shirts and tank tops. But now that I'm staying true to myself, and I also base it off my style because I'm very into fashion and stuff like that, I feel like now that I stay true to myself, people catch on and people like it because I'm being true to myself, and they see that, oh, this clothing brand is nice, oh, it's very different, things like that.
As anyone who runs a business knows, it's very difficult to make something that's high quality and make it affordable. What have you done to kind of make those two come together?
So what have I done with Simply Steez? So over time, the quality has gotten better. So at first, obviously, it takes money to make money, kind of thing. So to start a company, it takes a lot of money. So at first, I didn't have like, just like a lot of money just so, put in there. So I made like very, very simple shirts. They weren't the best shirts, of course. They weren't the best shirt. I priced them at $15. And the thing is, they weren't the best shirts. They weren't the best quality. But I just made it just to put my name out there, just to put a little statement. And some people really like the shirts and stuff like that. So over time, as I started progressing, I started making the qualities better. So after those t-shirts, there were hoodies, and people loved the hoodies. And after the hoodies, there was baseball shirts. And right now, I have the long sleeves, which would be one of like my best shirts yet. And I also had baseball jerseys. So as you can see, if you look down the timeline, my quality has gotten better, and my prices haven't increased. they've been pretty stagnant. I make sure to make everything affordable because I'm into big fashion brands. I'm into the Versace's, the Dolce & Cabana's, all of that. I'm actually a very big fan of Balmain, but I can't afford those things, you know? So, and a lot of other people can't afford those things. So I want to make sure mine's stay like at a good price that people don't have to like literally blow a check to get a shirt, you know, like $20, $15, $25, those are like the base price of my company.
What is Simply Steez in 5 years?
5 years, global. I want it to be worldwide. That's like the whole goal right now. Like I want the goal right now actually is to get it to start selling itself. And that's been happening. Like as I walk around school, people always come up to me like, yo, I want to buy a shirt or something like that. And the thing, I feel like people don't know much about the website, that I have a website. So they always come to me like, yo, where can I get a shirt? You know what I mean? So I want to establish myself as like a legit brand, as if people don't have to come to me and be like, yo, let me get a shirt. Like they go online and everybody just does it automatically, and the word spreads around by itself without me having to promote it as heavy as like other brands do. They don't promote as heavy, but people just catch on to it. And that's what I want it to be, and it'll eventually expand and become very global.
All right, and most importantly, when's the next drop?
Next drop is December 1st. So I'm actually wearing one of the long sleeves right now. It has a Simply Steez on the arm, the embroidery of the tag right here, and also, oh, let me see if I could turn around. I don't know if you can see it. It has the tiger in flames. Basically, I wanted the tiger in the back. I'm not sure if the camera saw, but I wanted the tiger in the back to make, I wanted the shirt to seem like it's burning. So the flames are very distorted. They're not like all equal. It's not like all equal around the edges and things like that. I wanted it to seem like the tiger is burning through the shirt. So that's why it looks weird. The flames look weird. I wanted it to seem like, basically that's what I wanted for. I wanted to go for that look. And also I would have these in white, black, and also I'm restocking in backpacks.
Awesome. All right, we're going to do a little quick lightning round, so just answering a couple questions relatively fast.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's say you're in the Shark Tank and you can make a deal with any of the sharks. Who would you do it with?
Any deal with one of the sharks? I would go maybe Mark Cuban, because I feel like I could relate to him the most, even though I don't really know that he's into the fashion game and stuff like that, but anybody can get into it. He has enough money to get into it if he wants to, and he's a pretty simple guy. But the fact that he likes basketball, I like basketball, I feel like we would bond over that, and we wouldn't like, fight a lot. Like I feel like our ideas, and also he's a very great businessman. He's literally a billionaire. So I think I would definitely go with Mark Cuban. And honestly, it all depends on who would offer the best price, because I like to think at things like, not because of the person, but at my best situation. So maybe Mark Cuban wouldn't offer the best situation. So maybe I would have to go with someone else instead of Mark Cuban.
Fashion design inspirations.
Fashion, I'm a big fan of Kanye. I like Olivier from Balmain. I just like the aesthetics of the clothing. Like I have a pair of jeans. They're Zara jeans, but they look like Balmain jeans because I can't afford Balmain jeans. So Olivier, Kanye West, I love what Kanye West is doing. I love the Yeezys. People can hate on him all they want, but what he's been doing with the fashion game is like incredible. And also Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is like the pioneer of it too, with the skinny jeans. For like hip hop artists, I'm not saying that like skinny jeans, they literally brought skinny jeans because rock stars were doing that way before them, like CM Punk and all of those things. But like to bring it into like the African American community or urban community, things like that, like Kanye West, Kid Cudi, Pharrell, those would be my inspirations.
If speaking of famous people, if you could get any one famous person to endorse your brand, who would it be?
It have to be Kanye. Kanye, he's just like my all-around favorite artist. Like he's my inspiration for fashion. I like him for music. I like that he's very blunt, even though I don't agree with everything he says. But I like that he's very blunt, and I like that he's very creative. That's what I want to be, like, very creative. He never does the same thing twice. Like none of his albums, you can correlate one with the other and be like, oh, this album is like this. And Kanye, and people always say they want the old Kanye. Just like he made the song in Life of Pablo, I miss the old Kanye. People always say that, but he doesn't want to give you the old Kanye. He wants to always progress, and that's why none of his albums are ever the same. Like College Dropout is not the same from graduation. You know, he's progressing and he's becoming better. And the thing is that people don't always catch onto it right away. Like personally, I think Jesus was a great album, and I think 808's Heartbreaks was a great album. People don't know that 808's was like, he was like one of the first people, him and Kid Cudi was like one of the first people to start like doing 808s like that. So like people never catch on right away, but he is like very inspirational and definitely Kanye.
How many ideas or sketches do you go through before you feel like you have a finished product?
So at first I used to just like rush sketches, and I used to just be like, man, I need to draw something. And that was definitely in the beginning, but now I just like let it go, like go with the flow. So if I'm dreaming, like let's say I dream something crazy or dream something, and then I'm like, oh cool, that would be a cool sketch. So I just like draw it all out. And then I'm not the best sketch artist. Over time I've gotten better, but I'm not the best at sketching. So I usually do things on the computer. So I sketch it out or write it down, and then I go on the computer and see how it would look, because Photoshop gives me a better view of it instead of me just sketching it. But as of now, I'm able to sketch at a decent level to the point where I transfer it over to Photoshop. It resembles, like, it's very similar.
And finally, if I want to find out some more, where am I going to find out about Simply Steez?
simplysteez.com. Actually, the website right now, I don't know when the video is dropping, but right now it's down because I'm fixing it up, changing it up for the next drop, which will be on December 1st. But the website is simplysteez.com. And also, I will be passing out stickers next week just to get ready for the next drop.
All right, perfect. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you.